Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jesse from VapeMentors. So in this marketing lesson for vape shops, I'm going to show you guys the 7 email templates that you should be implementing in your vape shop, whether you have an e-commerce site or if you have a brick and mortar shop, that are going to help you retain your customers and get them coming back for more. There's a webinar that we do called the 3 ways to grow a business, and one of the 3 ways is called increasing your average order value, increasing your average order value. The other way is to increase the frequency of purchase. The third way, by the way, is to increase the number of customers. But we covered that in another marketing video, which involves Google SEO and being able to be found on Yelp. But the other two ways are average order value and increasing the frequency of purchase. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, I'm shocked at the number of vape shops that don't do any type of outreach to their current customers. They don't email them regularly because they feel like they're going to bug them. They don't try to upsell them either at their, at the shop or later on. They don't put a lot of effort into these really important practices that all the biggest, brands online, from Amazon to, the local boutique shop down the street who's doing really well, they do this because it works. And if your customer really likes you, they're not going to mind you getting an email from you if you're doing your job. So I'm going to go over the 7 email templates that we highly recommend that you try to fit into your email marketing campaign. I won't get into tools because there's so many of them, and it all depends on the type of systems that you're using. If you have questions about which ones I recommend, I'll probably put out another video, or you can email me, jesse@vapementors.com, and I'll share with you what I recommend. But these are the email templates that you can implement right now. You can send these out manually if you want. It doesn't have to be programmatically, even though that's the best way to do it. But this can be done, manually if you need to. So I'm going to go over them real quick, and you're going to be, I think, getting a lot of ideas on what you should be doing to get more customers in your shop. So the first one is the obvious one. It's the abandoned cart email. This is the most effective because it's, these are the almost customers. These are the people that, are already interested in buying from you. Maybe they were shopping around. Maybe they were looking at the prices and they just hadn't gotten to checkout yet, or they got distracted or whatever. But if you break it down, bigcommerce.com has a study they did where if you break down the number of the value of each email you send, right, which can be said another way is how many people buy from the emails that you send out. Well, if you averaged out the number of emails you sent by your revenue per email, then it ends up being two cents for a promotional email, and 7 cents for a birthday email, and 18 cents for a welcome email. Right? But abandoned cart emails end up being $5.64 on average. So it's huge. These are the most valuable emails. This is like lowest hanging fruit. This is people that are just, imagine someone coming up and having something in their hand and then just deciding to walk out. I mean, you should go run after that person in your store, but people don't think to do this. And there's emails, by the way, email is not the only way to reach out. You can send text messages too. You can send Facebook messages too. So, abandoned cart emails are super, super important. 67% of online shopping carts are abandoned before the customer completes a sale. Again, this doesn't have to be. Abandoned cart emails are, traditionally an e-commerce tool. And if you have an e-commerce site, you should be using them. And there are a bunch of tools out there that can help you with this, but you don't have to. You can do this at a brick and mortar shop too. Okay. Here's some tools. I said I won't get into them, but there's plenty of tools out there. The technology is not the problem. If you're using that as an excuse, you're not being honest with yourself. So here's an example of abandoned cart email from a brand called Made. You've done the hard work. Now you can relax. You've cut the products you had your eye on, so you can skip the queue and go straight to checkout. Right. So it fills in the products they're looking at, and it says go right to basket. And if you need help checking out, give us a call. Maybe there was a problem with checkout. Maybe that's why they abandoned it. Maybe they just got confused. Sometimes it can be that simple. That's why these are so valuable. I mean, it's like, why is a abandoned cart email so valuable if it's if people are feeling they're being bugged. No, there must have been something else. $5 an email, super. It tells you there's something else going on. Second email template I recommend is psychological influence email. Okay, so this is more of a strategy to return to the shopping cart. So this is kind of a how do you actually write the email? So you know that they've abandoned the cart. What do you put in the email to actually get them to come back? And so there's psychological tools and triggers that you need to understand how the mechanism behind them in order for it to work. And there's really, there's basically 4 or 5, very popular ones that you have probably been victim of as a consumer. Social proof, right? This is like sending out testimonials, reviews, photos, and just proof that people like your content and your products. This can be any number of things. Fear of missing out. That's what FOMO stands for. So you can kind of say, hey, wouldn't it be a shame if you didn't get that latest mod, or if you didn't get our newest juice before it runs out? Or you can do limited time offers like, hey, by the way, and this could be something that you put in your email too. By the way, this stuff that in your basket, we only have a few more of them at this price. Or maybe you were running a special sale and it's ending, and they had abandoned their cart, but now it's ending in a couple hours, and you better send them an email saying, hey, I don't know if you know this, but this sale is ending. Or I don't know if you know this, but there's only a few of these left. If you really want one, you should do it now. People just don't know. People, they think I think the opportunity is always there. There's a lot of reasons why people abandon a cart. Scarcity is kind of the same thing as FOMO. Kind of what I mentioned is like, oh, things are running out. You can come up with creative ways to manufacture, or to be honest with your scarcity. A lot of people manufacture scarcity. I'm not a fan of that. But it is an effective way. You can have countdown timers. You can have a whole bunch of different stuff. You can have expiring coupon offers. There's a bunch of different ways you can manufacture scarcity. Urgency is all kind of rolled into FOMO as well, fear of missing out. But things like offer ends soon, almost sold out. Really, scarcity and urgency are probably the two most popular psychological leveraging tools that you've seen marketing use. And then also sometimes people just need a risk aversion, which is basically saying, I guarantee you'll like it. Honestly, if you don't like it, just give me your money back. And you can keep it too. If you really hate it, I don't even care if you ship it back to me. Just keep it and I'll give you your money back, and that's fine. It's better to keep a customer than it is to find a new one. So if the customer is threatening to leave you, and just simply being super over accommodating for them is going to keep them, then it's worth it. Now, obviously, some customers, there are customers that you shouldn't spend that much time on, and that's fine. You'll know who they are. But there are customers where you're like, okay, I really need to keep this guy around, and you'll do whatever you can, because if you know your customer lifetime value, you know that it's better to have a customer than to try to get a new one. So you can offer kind of like, hey, is it because, you didn't want to pay for shipping? Well, here, I can give you free shipping. Is it because you weren't sure about the return, or you want your money back, or you just want to like try it and we can, work something out? Those things are super valuable. Those things that build brands, right? One of the things that you have to remember is that you, as a small time shop owner, and I don't mean that pejoratively, I mean it as a small business owner, you have an advantage over a place like Amazon, because you can build a personal relationship with your customers. Amazon can't do that on scale. They can only beat you on price. They can't beat you on service. There's no way. So here's an example of Kate Spade. Today's the last day for free ground shipping. Just they had a promotion going on. They were reminding everybody. And by the way, in another level of scarcity, guaranteed to arrive on or before December 24th. Obviously, everyone's trying to get something for the holidays, right? So that's just a pretty basic example of that. The related product email. This one is one of the most overlooked ones, and it's the ones that you should you should be implementing. This is, I would say, abandoned cart first, related product second, because a lot of people, they know what they want, they go find it, and then they just leave. And you're like, wait a minute, didn't you know that we had this tank that goes perfectly with your mod? I had a coaching client that sent out his first product related email, and within 2 hours he had 24 sales and he made like $250. And it was just because they didn't know that he had it, and they just had to tell him. So that's why you should never be worried about if people are bugging you. You're here to sell things. Okay. It's fine. So these are emails featuring products they'll love. Online shoppers are much less motivated by non-personalized emails asking for them to return to shop again, right? That's another thing I was just mentioning. If you're a small time shop owner, you have that personalization. You can get more and more personalized. And that example I was talking about, the guy, my coaching client, he did this manually. This wasn't some automated thing. He had to set up some complicated technology thing. He just went through his list and said, oh, these people bought this, they didn't buy that, I'm gonna send them an email. So it's manual stuff, right? Scenario is online shopper comes to your store, views your products, adds them to cart, and completes their purchase. Either the email software or you personally go through, tracks the purchase, and then matches it with any related products you have in your inventory. And you can either manually or automatically send the email out, and it's related to recommended products. Now, you might know which type of products that people might be interested in, but you also might want to do some research. You can look into the baskets that people are building and what they bought, and realize, oh my God, I didn't even think about this, but whenever they buy this mod, they're buying this specific coil and this specific cotton. I wouldn't have thought that. That's crazy. So, you can go and look at your basket and kind of understand what products you're likely people to purchase. And you can also, be more creative with it and say, oh, well, didn't you think about buying this? So there's two ways to do this. You can do it in the shopping cart as it's happening. That's more obviously technologically. And this is not just for e-commerce. A brick and mortar store can easily do this, but here's an example of a product recommendation email. So, hey, you bought this. Did you see these? Or if I was, let's say, using this clothing example, if they bought a jacket, I would add a scarf, a belt, and a pair of shoes, that go with it, if you can get that specific, right? So the education email template is a way to nurture your relationship. So you have to understand this idea that there's lead capture, and then there's nurturing, and then there's sales emails. There's kind of three different categories of emails, right? So these can be resource intensive, I'll be honest with you. But every single new customer needs some level of education, either about you personally, about your shop, about how you do business, or about the products that they purchased. And so don't rely on another website or a YouTube video or some YouTube personality out there to be the sole educator of your customer. You are the educator of your customer. You are responsible for that. And you can have a YouTube channel and a blog, and you can send out educational stuff to your customers, and you should be doing that. For instance, he gives the example of Beard Brand, which is a really cool brand, and they always are constantly giving out style tips, how to take care of your beard, different types of beard combing techniques, different types of beard fashioning, and all this stuff. I don't have a beard, so I don't know anything about beards, but those that do know that beard people are super, interested in that kind of thing. So, and the reason you want to do this is, like, if you're sending out valuable stuff to your customers and you're always at the top of your inbox, whenever that person is trying to, is going to think about purchasing something, they might go to their email. They're always on their email, or wherever they are. If you're on Facebook and you're sending out content, or Instagram and sending out content, you're going to be top of mind. And that's important, because it's a noisy place out there. And also this is going to help you build up your authority. as a vape shop. So authority is kind of like, Tony Robbins is an authority on personal development, right? So you want to be an authority, and you can be an authority. And trust leads to loyalty, and loyalty leads to more sales. And this is also the idea of know, like, and trust, right? People want to know, like, and trust you, and then they'll buy from you. You have to get those three down there first. Content is number one way to do that. Find out, ask yourself, who are they? What do they care about? Where do they spend their time? Why do they care about your products? How do your products help them make their lives easier, better? And what niche topic do you focus on in your educational series? If you're in a vape shop that has like a lot of cloud chasers, you don't want to put out content on how to quit smoking, because they're not really interested in that, right? On the other hand, if you're in a vape shop that has a lot of older customers, you want to put out information on why vaping is a better alternative for smoking, and why it's not as complicated as you think it is, and why would this new starter kit that you bought you're gonna outgrow it soon enough, and you should really think about this, which goes back to the product recommendation emails that we mentioned earlier. If you know that a customer is going to have an evolution eventually of like, well, they're going to outgrow this, I need to make sure that they know that this is the next evolution for them, the next step, then you should be sending out an email. All right. So this is an example of what Beard Brand puts out. It's just, what's the difference between beard oil and beard balm, So, and this is important, a question that we get a lot, right? So they paid attention to what their customers are asking them about, and then they put together content to answer those questions, like an FAQ page on there, but it's a blog post, right? The order confirmation upsell email. This one is very interesting. This one is mostly e-commerce, pretty much all e-commerce. It is possible for you to do this with a vape shop, brick and mortar, but it'd be a lot harder to do, to be honest with you. So this is more for e-commerce, but this is a really interesting one you probably never heard of. I actually hadn't heard of it till I read this document, but it's very, very cool. So what this does is, like, the order confirmation email is, by the way, they're very high open rates, the order confirmation emails. So basically, everyone opens those emails. So you don't want to ever miss an opportunity to reach out to your customer and get a message in front of them. And an order confirmation email is a super good way to do that. And the interesting thing about this, you can actually structure it so that if they order after hours, this is an advanced one, by the way, but if you're tech savvy, or if you have someone that can help you with it, this is a super valuable one. Let's say they order after hours. You're not going to ship it until the next morning. Well, look how this is the Dollar Shave Club, which is a really, really good, awesome brand. This allows you to edit what you already ordered. Your next box ships it on 11:30. Would you rather, before it ships, do you want to toss more in? So if you know about the Dollar Shave Club, it's a subscription service, but this still works for you. So, imagine this scenario: customer enters, orders something overnight, and someone's dying. So they order something overnight, and you know that it's not going to ship till the morning. Well, then you could send out this email and say, hey, you want to add this in as a special offer. You can have a special offer only available in this email. It says, I'll throw this in if you want to pay me, throw in a couple extra bucks, So that's a really, really interesting one. That one, like I said, it's a little harder to implement, but super creative, a really good way to build average order value, which is what that does. Average order value is how that builds. The replenish email. This is super, super useful for vape shops. Everybody knows that people run out of coils, they're running out of cotton, they're running out of liquids. On average, how long a 30 milliliter bottle will last, a 60 and a 120. And it is specific per customer. And there are apps like AppCard has a way to do this. I believe Tac Mango has a way to do this. This is for brick and mortar. They can predict, like, hey, this person normally buys juice every week. He's in here buying a 30 milliliter bottle, guaranteed he's buying it. you should be sending an email a couple days before you know that's going to happen again, and just reminding them, hey, you got to stock up. Special offer, special restocking offer right now. That's how you get them coming back. This is called increased frequency of purchase, right? If you can be in front of them right before they purchase their next one, super, super valuable. So here's an example of a supplement company. We were told that you ordered some awesomeness a few days ago, and we'd like to hate for you to run out. So this is our way to help you get some energy, some more energy. And you can include a special offer in these emails. Okay. And then of course the promotional emails, which there's general promotions, but then there's also the ones that, happen on a predictable basis, like birthdays, holidays, special events in your area, new products that you send out. You should be sending out every time you get something new in, you should be sending out an email. This is also going back to frequency of purchase, right? You need to always be leveraging the next big thing. Like Halloween's coming up where I'm recording this video. Halloween's a huge retail holiday. And then you've got the whole holiday season, and then you've got New Year's resolutions, which by the way is a big, big deal for vape shop owners. If you go to Google Trends and you type in quit smoking, there's a huge spike on January 1st. Everybody says, I'm going to quit smoking on January 1st on New Year's resolutions, right? And then it doesn't, and the thing is, it doesn't get any better every single year. Just boom, boom, boom. It looks like a cardiogram, the little heartbeat sensor. So those are the 7 types of email templates that you should be using. And we have some resources and some coaching and some ways for you to actually implement that, right? So here's a good one. Wet seal turns 1. So if you have, recently we had a guy who had a 3-year vape shop anniversary, and he did a big event for it. Huge way to build your brand and just have your community who supports you and loves you celebrate with you and say, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're doing well. Come in and have a special event. We're having a special event for this. So, those are the 7 types of email templates. These are super important for average order value and frequency of purchase. They don't really help you so much with new customers, although one email template I might add in is a referral email. Say, hey, if you know somebody that might want to try vaping, here's a coupon for them. And if you bring this coupon in, if they bring that coupon in and they buy something, I'll give you something as well. Just to go over them, the promotional email, special events, the replenish email, super valuable for e-liquid. The order confirmation upsell email, very, very useful, but more technologically advanced. The education email, this is a regular email that you send out on a regular basis to keep your audience engaged and educate them. The related product email, very, very useful. You're going to have to do some research in your basket to get the products that you want that are related. Or use common sense. And then the psychological influence email is kind of like, you can have one that's standalone, but this is mostly how to write your emails. And by the way, these concepts apply to all those other emails. You can apply these concepts into every single one of these other templates. And then of course the abandoned cart email. So hope that helps. If you have any questions at all, jesse@vapementors.com, comment in this video, and like and share it if this helps you. If you know a vape shop owner that could use this, we'd love to help them as well. So thank you so much.